and I can't go to the restroom. So I'm tripping. So what do I do? Because I don't want to die. I go to Kaiser, say I have a stomach problem, and the nurse has to check my ass, and she goes, have you been shoving drugs up your ass? I go, what? No, like, I got a flu. Like, how dare you say that? She goes, all right, I'm gonna be right back. So I run out the hospital. I'm like, I gotta get out of here. I run out.
Welcome back, Fausto.
How's it going, Mark?
Great to see you again.
You as well.
So for those that are not familiar with your first video, you talked last time mainly about the recovery program that you oversee, you work at, that has been so helpful to so many people, and so many people love what you're doing. But we were talking just a week or so ago and realized you've got a really great story yourself of debauchery and craziness.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I remember the first crazy story you can see, like where my addiction probably, you can tell I had a problem, was when I was 14 years old. And I found out that if I go to the dentist, because I had really bad teeth, I used to play this game where I'm gonna tell the dentist on a scale of 1 to 10 that I'm in pain. And then they would give you a Tylenol, and I would lie, it doesn't work. Then they'd give you a shot in your glute, it's supposed to be a stronger painkiller, and I would lie and say it's still a 10. Because I knew if I did that, I'm gonna get Vicodin. And I knew what Vicodin was gonna do. And so in my mind, I would do that with the dentist, and that same day as I get my Vicodin, I would go visit a friend, and my friend's like, have you heard of promethazine? And so what I used to always do is I wanted to make sure I was the friend to hold the drugs, because I want to make sure I have control so I can take them all, but I'm to pretend like I'm the good friend so they don't get caught. So I have 30 pills of promethazine pills, 30 pills of Vicodin, and then my buddy that same day says, hey, where were you last week? We have a friend that has Xanax. I'm like, well, what is Xanax? He's like, you got to try it out. So I traded some Vicodin for the Xanax. Well, anyone that knows has done Xanax before, you're gonna black out. I took 2 bars, which is stupid for the first time, and I took those 2 bars, and all of a sudden I'm blacking out. And then there's a fight happening, and then I black out again, and then there's homeless people, and we black out again, and then we're drinking alcohol, and then I black out again, and I'm bleeding full of throw up in the middle of a park at 4 a.m., and then I wake back up at my house. So first thing I do is I call my friend, see if I have my wallet and phone on me, which I do. I call my friend, and I'm like, what happened? And he's like, dude, you took all the Vicodin, you took all the promethazine, you actually had a pocket full of antipsychotics. I had Seroquel, because when I was in 9th grade, I pretended to be schizophrenic to get out of class. So I had to take Seroquel to pretend like I was crazy. So I took 30 pills of Seroquel on top of it and drinking alcohol. And you would think somebody would be like, man, I never want to do that again. But my first thought was, dude, that was awesome, let's do that again. And that was just like the beginning of just seeing how this disease of addiction for me, how I chased it. And that led down to another time. I remember 18 years old, where we were selling Ecstasy at a party. Cops come in, and so what we gotta do is we gotta run. So we run from the cops, we get away, we take our drugs. And my first thought was, well, hey, let's go back to my place. Like, we can party there at this park, but let's go get some more alcohol. So we buy a bunch of 30 packs, and my dumbass, first thing I do is I take 1 pill of Ecstasy, but in my mind, I'm like, 2 will be better. So I take another one right away, but then what ends up happening is once the high kicks in, I'm out of control. I'm not who I am anymore. So as soon as the high kicks in, I take 20 pills of Ecstasy in my mouth. My friends are like, dude, don't do that. Well, guess what? I do it anyways, and all of a sudden, everything goes white. Well, apparently I fell down a 20-foot ditch on my face after having a couple seizures. My friends were breaking into houses, so the cops came. And when that happened, I wake up in the hospital, handcuffed to the bed. My face is smashed in, my elbows are smashed in, my hands are full of blood, and I'm talking to the ceiling, hallucinating. And at this point, I'm like, oh, I'm screwed. My family's gonna know. But for some crazy reason, the blood test came, oh, you're clean. So what do? What any addict does, I manipulate it. I say, the cops beat me up. It's because I'm Mexican. You guys are setting me up. I need pain pills. And the doctor's like, I'm not giving you pain pills. And so what do? I'm gonna manipulate my mom that the doctors are against me. I know my friend's dad has Vicodin because he has back problems. I'm gonna have her take me to his house, manipulate the dad to feel bad for me so I can get my Vicodin. And guess what, it worked. And then I overdosed right after that same day out of the hospital. And they found me bleeding all over the road with my face smashed in from the day before, but even more, just out of it. And my first thought right after that, you think I would stop? No, after that, I just say, you know what? I just drank a little too much. I'm gonna be okay. And then right after that, 21 years old, another time, I was always in toxic relationships. And I remember for some reason, I was drinking 4th of July, and all of a sudden I black out. And then I'm at a party, and then I'm drinking with all my friends' family members. For some reason, I start running 8 miles at midnight to go crash this party because the girl I'm dating's there, and she shouldn't be there, right, in my mind, and we're not even together. And all of a sudden, I see my friend's dad pulling me out the house, the cops are coming, and they're like, Fausto, you gotta get the fuck out of here. So my first thought is, well, fuck you guys are against me. So I rip off my clothes at night, I start screaming in this neighborhood, smash my phone, and for some reason my youth pastor finds me, I don't know how, to this day, and my first thought was, this is all happening because life doesn't like me, it's their fault and their fault, drop me off at my cousin's house. So I manipulate my pastor to take him in my cousin's house, and all of a sudden I see my cousins, right, sniffing cocaine. And so I play the whole, poor me game, and they're like, yeah, fuck her, fuck that. And then all of a sudden, I go to do the line of cocaine, and then I go do another one, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I don't think that's cocaine. I'm like, is that meth? And keep in mind, I haven't smoked meth in like 5 years at this point, because when I smoked meth the first time, I got molested for 6 months by my mom's friend. So I never wanted to touch it again. But like addiction, right? Since I didn't know, once that high kicked into the meth, instead of me saying I don't want to do more, I said, do you guys have a pipe? So now we start smoking meth for 3 days. Things are getting weird. Everyone's staring at each other in this circle. I'm like, is everyone gonna have sex with each other? It's a bunch of dudes. It's getting weird because that's what meth does to your mind. I'm just like, oh my gosh, is this gonna happen? And thank God it didn't happen. But my mind goes, well, I gotta get the drug dealer's number before I leave. And I've been up for 72 hours at this point. And so what do? Hey man, can I get some meth? He goes, yeah, how much you want? Well, my dumbass, instead of getting a small amount, I get a rock this big, which anyone that smokes meth knows that's crazy. And so when I'm home, 72 hours up, I'm in my room and I go, fuck, I don't have a pipe. Let me do some research. Well, I found out if you shoot it up, right, you get the biggest high. So what do? I got steroid needles, because obviously I'm doing steroids on the side too. And I remember I got the needle and I'm ready to inject, and I'm not a person who injects. And all of a sudden, I'm like getting paranoid, like, well, if I die or hit the wrong thing, people will know I do meth. That's all I cared about. I still want people to know. So then I go back on my phone before ChatGPT, and they talk about boofing. And what is boofing? Boofing is where you put drugs up your ass because you get high 98% of the high. So I go, great. I shoved a rock this big up my ass to get high on meth. Anybody that knows, I'm probably gonna die, but I don't think that. I'm just like, how do I get really high? Because I wanna get the highest I've ever been. That's how my mind thinks. Well, guess what happens? The third day of getting high turned into 10 days of not sleeping. It was so much meth, my asshole shut closed. Now I can't go to the restroom. My cats are speaking English to me. I'm seeing shadow people. I'm duct taping all my blinds. I think the government's after me. I'm dripping sweat, walking around with the cross like this. Pretty Little Liars, some girl show. I'm like watching it to think it's gonna save me. And I have family visiting, and I'm just over here telling them like, oh, I'm sorry, I got the flu, or I drank too much coffee while I'm geeked out like this, noodle grooving. And I can't go to the restroom. So I'm tripping. So what do? Because I don't wanna die. I go to Kaiser, say I have a stomach problem, and the nurse has to check my ass, and she goes, have you been shoving drugs up your ass? I go, what? No, like, I got a flu, like, how dare you say that? She goes, all right, I'm gonna be right back. So I run out the hospital, I'm like, I gotta get out of here. I run out, I get home, and then I realize I have work. So I used to work at this place, it's like the white version of Home Depot, called Orchard Hardware Supply. I think they're closed down, so I'll share this. So I have to go to work. 9 days up, talking to myself, seeing shadow people and ghost people, right? Sweating. I go to work, I work the paint department. So I'm so paranoid that I took the paint buckets out of the shelf. I laid inside there and I put the paint buckets in front of me and I hid in a shelf for a 4-hour shift, and I did not get caught. I don't know, God must have had my back when I was getting high too. So I didn't get caught. Finally, I slept after that, but I was afraid that I was gonna be stuck in psychosis for the rest of my life. And you think that would stop me? No. So right after that, what do? At this point, when I was a bartender, I used to get into the whole swinging community, right? So we'd have like midgets having sex, people were bringing animals and stuff like that. It's not my thing, but they're bringing stuff like that into this stuff. People like have sex with my wife, have sex with my husband, people are doing speed and all this stuff. And it was crazy because there was like these levels. Level 1 is like normal stuff happening. And then every level, if you pass a level, things would get weirder and weirder. Now for me, I never wanted to get to the bottom part of that stuff, a little bit too much for me. I was more just, I just want to party, do drugs, and DJ, and be up for days, and accept all these people for who they are. And I remember it was a few days in there, we're all partying, and I have a grand mal seizure during this swinger party. I seize out on the floor, and after about 30 minutes, I come back to, and you would think, like, I'm definitely probably gonna leave this party. My first thought was, did the cops come? No? All right, let's keep on partying. So I go back to doing Xanax, doing meth. I take off, go to a club. After 4 days of being up from the swinger party, I go to a club in Pomona, DJing, partying with people, and I would have seizures the whole time at the club. Get to a motel, have more seizures. And when I'm at the motel having these seizures, same thing. I'm duct taping the blinds again because I think they're coming after me. I think they're taking pictures of me. So in my mind, it was like, I gotta get another hotel. And so I would literally hotel hop to multiple a day thinking I'm escaping the people chasing me, and no one's escaping me at all, or no one's chasing me, but I'm just out of my mind. And I start hiding at the Ralph's grocery store, hiding at parks, hiding in parking structures, out of my mind, naked, losing my mind, and having seizures. And again, you would think I have a problem, and it wasn't. You know, I've seen things, I felt things, and it was just the insanity of it. I would keep on going, and nobody knew this stuff. Like, that's the thing, is my job didn't know I was getting high. My family didn't know. The girls I was dating, they didn't know. Because to them, I had the flu every weekend, right? I'm epileptic. So I used that epilepsy to my advantage. Anytime I had a seizure, oh, it's because I'm epileptic. Anytime I couldn't go to a date, it's because of my epilepsy. And so I'm doing all these drugs constantly to a point where, and this part's crazy, my rock bottom parties, I had this idea. I had a little cup you put salsa in. I would put NyQuil as the liquid, crush up crack, meth, ecstasy, pain pills, stir it up, take it in a big turkey baster. I'm talking about a big one, like a big thick turkey baster with no needle. Shove it straight on my ass and get high, and chase that high for hours and days out of my mind. And it was just wild. That's literally what was going on behind the scenes for so many years of people. And yeah, I cheated on my partners. I wasn't faithful. The reason why I wasn't faithful because I'm getting high, my morals go out the door, and I would be the one that, like, you're the bad person, not me. I stole my mom's severance money, which was about $50,000. I stole my sister's financial aid money. I used to lie and say, my job didn't pay me on time. Oh, the IRS took my money. How am I gonna pay the rent for us? So I would steal the money, lie to take the money from my friends and my family all the time. I always had an excuse. I wouldn't pay back. I would lie. I would avoid, unfaithful, just out of my mind, doing these things. And the last part of all this partying got so bad where I had this system. So when I was having 3 to 5 grand mal seizures a day, I knew they're coming as part of my high. I would put pillows on my floor the length of my body. I would put a DJ speaker on my hallway door so nobody can get in. And then I would play music pretty loud so no one can hear. And I knew if I'm gonna have a seizure, I'm gonna fall between these pillows, no one's gonna come in. By the time I get out of my grand mal seizure in 30 minutes, I can come back to. I'm gonna go for that Tito's alcohol once I can move my hands, and then once I can grab the bottle of Tito's, I'm gonna chug it with the hopes that it'll cancel out the next seizure. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. You know what I mean? But it didn't stop me. I would just keep on going day after day, chasing this thing constantly. And that's why at the rock bottom, I had probably 30 seizures in a month, everywhere, constantly. And it's crazy because nobody knew what was going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's amazing how addicts can hide.
Yeah.
Their drug use.
Yeah. I think for me, it's because when people love you, they don't want to believe that to be true. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are like, well, they're not doing that. My kid wouldn't do that. And me being able to use my epilepsy as an excuse, right, kind of got me out of things. And people being okay with drinking alcohol, I would use that as an excuse for why I didn't show up instead of being honest with it.
How many years were you behaving like this?
11 years.
11 years.
Constantly. Because I dropped out of school in 9th grade, so I never had to go to school. So I could party every single day. And that's what I did. All my drug dealers, I would manifest them living next door to me. So I'd get high every day and drink every single day. My mom was gullible. She didn't know what was going on. She was just like, why are you up at 4 a.m. dancing? I'm just having fun, and we're on drugs. She's like, why are you talking to the pan over there? I'm on acid and mushrooms. She has no idea. And when it got really bad, I knew how to isolate. I worked at a bar, so I had free alcohol. My friends were drug dealers, had free drugs. It didn't affect me financially. Like I said, I would lie and hide at hotels and motels so nobody knew. I always would pay my coworkers to cover my shift, and then I wouldn't pay them. But that's how I would get out of so many situations.
What were your main drugs?
Cocaine and alcohol. And then when I was up for a couple of days, I'd go to meth, and then that's when things would always get really weird and strange, with people. I remember one time we had like midgets in a room, a guy that didn't speak English. He always wore headphones. We would bring him over to this party. You'd have gang members over here, hippies over here, swing. It was just like these crazy scenarios of
like
just people. Huh?
Sounds like high school.
Yeah, but with a bunch of adults.
Do you miss those days? Any aspect of those days?
It's funny. There's a part of me that does miss it in a sick way. I think it's the high of the drugs, the alcohol, the people, the music, the danger of it. There's like a high in it, and in a fucked up way. And I don't really share about this a lot, but like when being molested when I was 14 by that man, because I was so young, my brain connected like intimacy with being raped on meth. So on meth, it makes things feel right, even though they're not right. And it's intense. That's why a lot of people have a hard time getting off meth, because they're like, sex will never be the same. All these things won't be the same. So since I was so young and it happened, like this sick part of my brain tries to like seek that type of experience through drugs. Like, well, if I do so much meth and I get myself in a fucked up situation where someone takes advantage of me, I can relive that. And I don't want that, but it's like my brain wants me to like relive that traumatizing thing. So I think sometimes by chasing certain drugs, if I do so much, to like this crazy degree, I'll be able to feel that. I don't know if it's to take back my control, because I had no control, but it haunts me. And it's crazy because I think like my life is so good, and I sometimes my addiction says, who cares? Fuck your girlfriend, fuck everybody. Who gives a shit about them? Blow up your life. And I've been close. I've had it in my hands. I've been around people, and it makes me sad to think like it doesn't matter how much I care about you. Addiction doesn't care, And so there's times where I almost miss the escape of reality, I think, is what I miss. Because sometimes it's hard to live with being sexually abused and molested. And
yeah, so you're going to carry that weight the rest of your life.
It doesn't go anywhere. No matter how much I share it, believe in God, help people.
Therapy.
I go to therapy all the time. I'm a therapist myself. I help people all the time. It doesn't matter. That fucks me up. You know what I mean? I know what people are capable of. My foundation of sex is built on being raped. So it's like, hey, I can't remove that. You know what I mean? It messed me up. And now I got to do all this stuff to keep myself grounded. I don't want to work out all the time and eat right and pray and go to meetings and church and help people. I'm getting tired. I just want to chill.
Did you feel like that was the core of all your addiction problems?
I would say it's what escalated it. I think the core, if I was to really look at it, was just growing up with a narcissistic dad. So growing up in fear, anxiety, walking on eggshells, I think that anxiety feeling, right, is where it kind of started. Like alcohol removes it. But I think already being like that and being sexually abused when I was 7 and molested when I was 14, I think that trauma like took my soul away, my innocence away, in a way that like, it makes me so sensitive to the world and in fear and anxiety of men, stuff like that. And so I think that is a huge factor that makes it worse.
And this was happening where?
The abuse?
All that whole story you just told.
Yeah, I mean, that's happening at my home.
In what city?
Orange County. It's all Orange County.
All Orange County.
Sometimes LA, I come out to parties out in LA and like get lost in desert parties and raving and all that stuff.
Yeah, and sometimes smaller communities like Orange County at the time, compared to LA, the smaller towns are actually wilder.
Yeah.
Than the big city.
I can see that. I mean, I
remember that as a kid in Chicago, because I was from Chicago, so the kids in the big city would be pretty together. They're doing their fucked up shit too. But you go out to like Madison, Wisconsin, or Rockford, Illinois, or somewhere out in the sticks, and the kids were wild.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to do sometimes.
Nothing to do.
You're trying to figure out what to do, and sometimes drinking and drugs makes everything fun. So let's just explore that and do that, and I think that's a lot what it was. It's just that. I mean, that was everything to me. everything. I didn't know what I liked to eat. I didn't know what I liked to do. I was like, I just like to get fucked up. I like to escape. This is what I want. This is what I'm gonna do no matter who I hurt.
Wow, crazy story. What helped you recover?
There's this saying that says sometimes we have to, go play with Satan to get saved. And so for me, it was
it's almost like you become like possessed by the devil.
100%. I mean, it's crazy what I'm doing. Think about it. Like, I always tell people, like, I will take out a $50,000 loan if I'm high. I will steal all your money that you've been saving for 20 years to get high. I can't control myself. Like, that's how, in my brain, I'm like, I'll be fine, it'll be whatever. Like, I just gotta get my fix. I will deal with that later. And so it's so scary how uncontrollable it makes me. So I had to literally be broken down from losing my jobs, losing my relationships, trying to commit suicide, overdosing. I had to get so broken. My mom had cancer. I had to be so broken and everything taken from me to be able to finally just reach out for help, And so I think the concept of if God is real, that's what helped me, because being introduced to the Bible in a way of just someone reading scripture to me, and I was so broken, I was open to whatever's gonna help. Because I tried steroids, I tried falling in love, I tried making money, I tried getting in none of it was working. And I think just being so broken, and this book that someone read to me made me feel comfort and peace that alcohol gave me. I was like, wow, I feel good in my skin. Like, that's weird. Nothing does that but alcohol and drugs and sex. Okay, I don't know what this is, but let me explore what this is. And that just kind of took me to AA the next day, because I didn't know what AA was either. I just kind of walked in the next day, and being able to see that I'm not alone in my pain made me feel connected to someone. And connection is the opposite of addiction. So I think me feeling connected with people, because I never have, I always felt like the person that was invisible in a room full of people. Even if you're like, I love you, you're amazing, I don't feel nothing. So I felt connected for the first time in AA, and just doing that step work, being able to talk about my trauma, being able to take back my power from my trauma, being able to forgive the people who hurt me, forgive myself, because I had a lot of shame for what I did. There's some people that I tried making amends to, and they're like, fuck you. Or they ignore me. Or there's people who have me blocked still. And the more sober I get, I realize I really hurt them. Like, that was fucked up what I did. I can't believe I would manipulate them to feel bad and not me. And so the AA is what saved my life. God took me to AA, being able to forgive myself through the steps, and being able to share that story to help out other people. It's like, maybe all that fucked up shit that I did and been through wasn't for nothing. I went through that to understand that pain, to help out other people through that pain. So having purpose to everything is what saved my life. Without that, I'd be dead. Yeah.
And the shame.
Lots of shame.
Plays a huge role in that.
I mean, think about it. I could talk about who hurt me. I don't want to talk about what I did. It's embarrassing. My mom had stage 4 cancer. I didn't go to her cancer treatments. How fucked up is that? You know what I mean? Whatever. You do your thing. I'm busy. That's so messed up. I remember my mom had cancer one time. We got into an argument, and she didn't want to let me get high, so I pushed her, and she hit her head on concrete with no hair, going through chemo. Like, how fucked up is that? It's not who I am, but it's like the shame that comes with the behaviors of the disease. You know what I mean? I'm fucking having sex behind the girls I'm dating's back with other women and lying to them that it's not happening, but making them feel bad when they cheat on me, My good friends that are there for me, taking their drugs. My sister taking her financial aid when she's a kid. You know what I mean? And I just think about people that have been hurt by that stuff. I would go, this is fucked up. I remember I threw a party in front of like 500 people shaming somebody because they hurt me. And putting on the Titantron at the bar, like, oh, this person's this and that, ha ha ha. We'll do it at midnight, make them look like a piece of shit on stage. Like, it's fucked up. The friends were there, and they told her, and they're like, you know what he said about you in front of a whole bunch of people? Like, that's not cool. And so it was hard. I don't like talking about it.
But it seems to me, after doing 10,000 of these talks, that talking about it is the only way to really get past it.
100%. I have to be okay with it.
Because you have these hidden secrets in your closet, they're going to just haunt you.
Yeah, I mean, they say secrets make you sicker. If I don't talk about it, I'm going to relapse. They say that whatever you don't share, you're going to wear it, and it's going to wear you down. So it gets easier sharing it, at least around people that are like, I've done stuff like that too. So it kind of started like this, okay, it's not just me who made bad decisions. And being able to, someone to tell me like, look, would you ever do that sober? I might think about it, but I don't think I would act on it. I haven't. In sobriety, I haven't. So they're like, it's addiction that does that. Addiction hurts everybody. It's not you. So someone telling me that helped me be able to work on forgiving myself, but I had to promise myself too to never do that again. You know what I mean? I can't just go, okay, God forgave me, you're right's addiction, and then I go fuck someone over again and be like, well, you know. So being able to forgive myself, but still have the strength to be like, now what do you got to do today so you never do that again? Because something I've learned is that I can still make dumb decisions in sobriety. I still can. And so I got to make sure that I'm working on me to never do that again, because it's. I always say once you open up Pandora's box, it's hard to not go back to it. I know how to act bad and get away with it. I know the quick way to get through this, and no one will know. You know.
Yeah, addicts seem to have this crazy ability to just do things and not get caught.
Yeah.
Not get found out.
Yeah, and because we're so methodical, we understand how people are, because we're so sensitive and we know how to feel. So I can read somebody and know, like, I can manipulate them, I can't with them, so I'm not gonna be their friend, I'm gonna be their friend. I know exactly what story to share that's gonna make them feel bad for me because they've had that story done to them before, so they'll have more empathy for me. I know how to create a reason why I do what I do, so they're not gonna do nothing to me. We're so good. I mean, I've done stuff where I would say I'm going on a spiritual retreat, so I'm not gonna have my phone on me. So I can't talk to you, and no one can get a hold of me. What I'm doing is I'm getting an Airbnb away from everybody so I can go get high and do a bunch of drugs for 3 days, 4 days, be able to rest for the next couple days, and that gives me enough time to not get caught because no one's gonna talk to me on the phone and hear that I'm high. And I'm creating this excuse, and I'll save money for months for that. I'll plan it all around my schedule every night at midnight. Just, okay, I'm gonna go to this place, we're gonna do this, no phone service, create this store, we're gonna do that, we're gonna do this. This is why I'm gonna do it. They try to argue why. I'm gonna go, why are you trying to not make me have a good time? I need this for my healing. Do you not care about me? Oh, okay, my bad. So yeah, that's why I'm not on my phone. It's not because I don't wanna talk to you, because I wanna heal better so I can be better for you. And then they feel so bad, I'm like, oh, it's okay, I forgive you. Like, we're so good at creating this narrative to make you feel like the bad guy and then forgive you so we can get away with what we're doing. We're constantly looking how to get over people and through stuff. It's just how our brain works. We don't want to, but I want that high more than I want you, you know? And that's what makes us do these things. And we've been practicing for a long time what works.
Do you, in your working in recovery, do you see people who are saying all the right things and seem well-intentioned and just still will
lie? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I don't believe what anybody says when they tell me in recovery, because I understand how good we are at lying. I want to, but I'm not going to take your word from it. So I'm not going to take it personal when you screw me over or when you steal from me. You know, you got to just look at it like that. Like, for example, my mentor taught me this thing is like, if I left my glasses at a rehab, brand new Ray-Bans, and they get stolen, he's like, don't get mad at them. You shouldn't have left them there. They're addicts and detox. It's what you do. Not to judge them, it's what they do. So just don't get mad at that. I can't believe so-and-so told that secret I told them. You didn't think they were gonna tell your secret? Tyler, so-and-so, Eric, you don't think what they tell everyone's secrets. So I've learned to just be like, I let those who want help come to me now. Because I'll go out of my way, I'll pick you up from a trap house, I'll let you sleep on my bed, I will feed you, I'll try to get you into rehab for what? And I just get used. And then I get mad. But why am I getting mad? It's like, dude, they're sick. That's what they do. So I've learned to let people come to me, and I have little like formulas of like, hey, do you have a car? Yeah, okay, then you meet me there. I'm not gonna pick you up, we'll see. Or hey, how about you show up a couple times in a meeting and then I'll think about sponsoring you. I wanna see if they're willing, because I know it's not personal, but I can't give myself to people who don't want help anymore. You know, it's just what it is. It's a sad truth. You know, you gotta be careful.
And you continue to learn as you help others recover.
Every day.
Yeah.
I learn more about myself, what I need to work on. I learn more about people. You know, working with people from different cultures, different age groups, different ethnicities, different backgrounds. I mean, there's so much to it. Different mental health problems, you know. There's so much to it, right? I love it. You know, it stimulates me, people. I'm so curious about people, why they do what they do. And you can always paint a picture when you ask them, what's your story? And then I can connect the dots to why they do what they do, what they're probably gonna do, and what they're gonna need. You know, and I find it fascinating. People are unique, and everyone's different to kind of feel what flavor they need to help them.
Yeah, you're doing wonderful work.
Thank you.
Well, Fausto, thank you for sharing your crazy stories.
Thank you, Mark, for having me.
Yeah, you're amazing. And keep up the great work.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
When I was designing the first Soft White Underbelly book, I realized that there were so many great portraits that weren't going to make it into that book. They just wouldn't fit. And once I saw how well that first book sold, I knew I'd have to design a second book. This second book is finally ready to ship. Like the first one, this book has a collection of some of the best portraits from Soft White Underbelly, accompanied by a quote from that person's interview. This book features another group of Rebecca portraits, as well as a collection of color images of the Whitaker family, and plenty of others. You can order yours for $125 or $150 for a signed copy at softwhiteunderbelly.org. Again, like the first book, once this book is sold out, I will not be printing more of them. The portraits are what Soft White Underbelly is all about, and these two books contain the best of all that work. Thank you for watching.